Hello there everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now before we get into anything else, let me just say a couple of things. So first of all, for those of you waiting for another City Bus Manager video, episode 2, I know it's been a while since I made the first one. I'm hoping for this to be the next video. It was originally going to be this video, but then this idea came to me and I thought, I feel like people will like this a bit better. So those who are waiting for episode 2 of City Bus Manager, that'll be the next video, I promise. I won't keep you waiting much longer. But apart from that, that's all I've got to say, so let's get into the video. So on the last video, saying why Croydon is the best bus game on Roblox, I did bring up Bathwick Town a lot. And I noticed I didn't really paint it in a good light, and I made it seem like I didn't really like the game. And judging by a lot of the comments, a lot of you didn't really like what I was saying about it. So you know what? Apologies for that. I do actually really like Bathwick Town. So today, that's why we're going to go over 5 things that Bathwick Town does better than Croydon. So let's get right into this, because I'm looking. Arnold didn't change. Alright, let's go. So, the first point I want to make are the vehicles in general. So, Croydon obviously has a lot more vehicles. They have 300 odd if you include variants. Hey up, Mr. Enviro, what are you doing? So, you'd think, well, why are the vehicles in Bathwick Town better then? Well, it's not about the amount of vehicles, it's the vehicles themselves. There are so many vehicles in this game that you don't get in Croydon. A lot of them are a lot more of the old ones, like the Right Renown, the ALX 200 and so on. Now yeah, there's not as many vehicles, but I feel like the vehicle selection itself is better, and if they add more vehicles that you get in Croydon, then it's just going to become even better. Now obviously it's not a great example because the vehicle I'm driving you can get in Croydon, but if you just pay attention to like how it looks, I think it looks really good, but that is a future point that I'm going to bring up later, so I won't go too much into that. So that's that point. Let's move on to the next one, and which are routes. Now in Croydon there are only 25 routes, some are short, some are long, and I quite like those routes. I mean, with the size of the map and all like the back roads that could be used, I feel like there's not as many routes as there should be or there could be, but they are based off real life routes, which makes a bit more sense. But in this game you have a whopping 69 routes to drive. Like, that's mad. I'm just like, 69 routes puts Croydon to shame. And like, I've been playing this game for at least a month now and I still haven't driven all the routes. There's just so many, which is so good. It feels like there's a lot more to do. I feel like recently in Croydon, especially with the lack of sort of updates and the underwhelming recent update we got, I feel like I've just been getting bored of doing the same routes over and over. And yeah, I can do company routes, but it's also the same area over and over and over, and I do tend to get quite bored in there doing the same routes and just grinding for points. So with this game, yeah, there's just so much more to do in terms of routes. Now, next point I want to bring up is sort of related to the last one, and that is the map. It is massive. I'm not sure if it's bigger or if it is how much bigger than Croydon's, but it is massive. And judging by the amount of routes, you can probably tell it's definitely bigger than Croydon. Like, again, I've been playing for a month now and I still haven't explored the entire map. It's massive. And I think, like Croydon, where there's just loads of back streets that you don't drive on, I feel like so far I've noticed that every road gets driven on. Like, if there's a back street or something that you can't go on, it just doesn't get built. You know, there's no point in building it if nobody's going to go on it. So the map, I mean, look at it as well. It looks really good in general. And again, that sort of brings me to a point that I'm going to mention later. So next up is the sounds. Now, I have the game muted obviously so you can hear me, but right now I'm gonna pull up at this bus stop and turn the sounds on, but right after I explain a little bit about them. So, Croydon sounds are pretty good. Like, they're pretty good, but they're quite quiet, if you know what I mean. A lot of them can be quite quiet, like the Enviro 200 and stuff, they're quite difficult to hear. These sounds are quite loud, which is good, because if you're a bus enthusiast, you want to play a game for the buses and you want to hear the engine. But I feel like it just does the sounds better. For example, the Plaxton President in Croydon it doesn't sound like I've always heard a Plaxton President in real life as well. So I go into Bathwick town and the Plaxton President has a proper loud sort of Hoover sort of noise from the cooling fans, which is what a Plaxton President in real life sounds like. But it's not just engine noises, it's stuff like the doors and just little things like that, and the handbrake noises that are different for every bus, may I add, as well. So I'm gonna just shut up for a second and play some of the noises just to see, to show you guys what I'm on about. So yeah, I'm not sure, I haven't actually driven this bus yet. I know I haven't even driven every bus yet. I've always sort of skipped past this bus. So let's get the sound on. Is the sound working? Right, so let me know what you think. Let me know if you think it's better than Croydon. I know this bus might not have been the best example. I probably should have used the President or something, but in my opinion the sounds are just so much better. Okay, so moving on to the last point, the graphics. Now, Croydon's graphics are pretty good, don't get me wrong, but the graphics in Croydon are more focused on the buses, sort of the scenery in general, not the details on like the road. So if you play Croydon as well, you'll know that the roads are sort of like a grey colour, which is nothing like real life. The roads aren't like a light grey like they are in Croydon. Now I know they are trying to fix that with the town centre update and all of that, but the roads are meant to look like this. They're really good looking roads, but also it's not just the roads, the detail in the buses and the overall scenery. I just think it's on par with Croydon, but at the same time you get stuff like, I bet I'm not driving near it, but there's a river in the town, just near the town centre of Bathwick, which I find really cool. Like, you don't get a river in Croydon, or do you? I don't think you do. I don't think there's a river in Croydon. So I found that really cool, and it's like really detailed looking as well. It almost looks like a real river. Okay, so that's about it. I think that wraps it up for today's video. I feel like I did have something else to say, but I've forgotten, so apologies. It probably... Oh wait, is this the river? Ah, it is the river. You know, it's a typical murky British river. It looks really good in the game anyway. That river would not look good in real life. Anyway, that's it. I feel like I had something else to say, but I forgot, so yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video, and I will get the City Bus Manager video out at some point. Bye!